Boards, games, board games, board games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing, and then what I will be doing is a little bit of, I guess, confessing that I still don't know what I'm doing, and everybody, I guess, is learning. We're learning as we go on, like I'm improvising this song, but we will learn and it'll hopefully be okay. That is what I'll talk about today. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. I am Bez. It is time for Bezzy Beats and Board Game Blether. And today is going to be a very quick show because I've got to catch a train. I am going to Hertfordshire. But basically, all I want to say is, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what you're doing? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But like, I find that the most interesting people still don't know what they want to do. But like, it's like you're still working it out, and you're still working out all the things and all this imposter syndrome. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk about that for 2 minutes. But yeah, hello, Timmy. It is lovely to see you. And let's crack on with recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. So I yeah, what's our some recent highlights? I finished drawing things yesterday. That was a highlight. That I felt a sense of accomplishment. I went to bed, napped, couldn't sleep. Chris took the papers home to scan in. Yeah, that's basically what I've been up to. Drawing things, colouring things, and then writing the rules. That's it. Brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Good morning, Ian. It is lovely to see you. I hope you are generally well. And I would like to draw your attention to the brilliant thing, which is uncertainty. Uncertainty can be a thing that we're scared of, but at the same time, uncertainty allows us the room for learning. Uncertainty allows us to discover things, to explore space. I mean, Yogi Stock Guru, which Ian and I played together, and it was a lot of fun. And I feel like I was uncertain about that going in. I was a bit scared, to be honest. I didn't know how it was going to go. But some of the best things you're going to be scared of, we're learning it all as we go along. That is the topic for today. So, as always, comment, ask questions, from like, follow. So, yeah, basically, I am going to a place, and each time I go to a place, I learn a little bit more. So I went to Dicey a couple of weeks ago. I think it was just under 2 weeks ago in Norwich. I took stock count. I learned things. I was like, okay, this is how many I took. This morning, I was deciding how many games to take with me to Hertfordshire. Now, Hertfordshire, it's 2.5 days instead of just 1 day, but then it's a different crowd. What will people buy? Well, I don't know. I really don't know. And that's what inspired my topic today. Like, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to take notes. I'm trying to use those previous data to inform my future, how much stock I take, how much is too much. And UK Games Expo, I've never been to UK Games Expo, with my Bezzy bargain bags. Not a proper one. I mean, 2021 doesn't really count. And so ultimately, we need to be okay with that. We need to be okay with flying by the seats of our pants, because without that uncertainty, without that acceptance of we're just going to carry on and do it, you never do anything interesting. I mean, you could, if you want, just focus on one game and make this one game. Get really, really good at demoing it. And know, okay, at each convention, this is how many people are going to buy. But if you, at the moment you bring out a new thing, you don't know how people are going to receive it. It's like, At UK Games Expo, I've got, I want to say, since Aircon, I've got about 3 totally new games. Yep, a game about quickly matching words to pictures, but never words to words or pictures to pictures. A game about counting cats' shapes and colors that keeps getting trickier, and a game about stuffing balloons as a team without talking, but it's a card game. There are no actual balloons. Those are my 3 totally new games. That's I've not the biggest convention. Like I'm doing like a new game each convention, but like this is the first time that they're coming to a big convention. And then I've got like the Bezzy Bargain Boxes, which is a game about quickly grabbing creatures. That's totally different. And counting your radishes. Like how many people are going to buy them? I don't know. How many people are going to buy a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after some makes noises? Well, I could make a judgment based on how many people bought it last year in 2021, but that year, that was all I was showing off. It's a completely different situation. And I guess that's the thing. You need to be okay with letting go, not just because we keep doing new things, but also because the context changes, the situation changes, and we learn, we improve, and that's the only way forwards. So just to catch up with the chat, Ian says that Yogi Stock Guru was a moment to remember. And I agree about uncertainty. Certain elements about planning everything freak me out. That's an interesting point. Like, do you mean that you get freaked out by planning too much? Or do you mean that you get scared of planning when you are the one planning? Like, would you prefer other people to make plans? Because I do think that it's good about, especially when you've got helpers, when you've got demonstrators, it's ideal if you have a solid plan, even if you need to deviate from that plan, but you want to say, okay, this is the plan, and I'm taking some extra stock. I expect this weekend to come back with maybe a third, maybe even a half of the stuff that I'm taking. If I take back more, if I bring back more than a half, well, I guess I've misjudged it, but the numbers that I'm taking, it's hard to say. But yeah, that's pretty much the show for today. I'm going to try and do more of these quick shows where it's just me jumping in and having a topic like this. As always, like I said, thank you for joining me, Timmy, and Ian, if you have any comments or anyone watching on uncertainty, do you feel confident in your uncertainty? Do you feel like you can embrace that truly? Do you feel like, and when I talk about, Ian says, I don't mind plans or planning, but leave wiggle room. Yes, that is a good statement. You need to leave wiggle room. When I did my first Kickstarter, I planned, okay, if I earned a bare minimum, I will print 1,000. If I earn 10 times what I'm asking for, what do I print? And that was me planning for success. I thought, well, if I print 10 times, there's no way I'm going to be able to package that many up myself. I'll need to get a fulfillment agency. I'll need to charge more. And so I built that into the cost. Give yourself some wiggle room, whether it's time like for retraining along the days. And at UK Games Expo, where I've got a team, I say, okay, at the end of every day, we've got a team meeting, and we'll quickly ask, what was something you felt went well, business-wise, on the stand? What was something you enjoyed generally today? And what's a tip that you have for Bez? And those 3 questions. Or in my case, wiggle room. There's a game idea. Lovely. So as we recap, question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on your way. So what I've talked about doesn't really translate to imposter syndrome, but my question to everyone is, how comfortable are you with uncertainty? How comfortable are you with how confident are you in yourself? Do you suffer from imposter syndrome? Because I am incredibly uncomfortable with uncertainty. I'm almost scared of getting out the house. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to a new place. I'm getting on a new train. I've never been to a train from Paddington before. And there's something scary about that. So, will I forget something? Will I have everything packed? Will I be okay? I'm sure it'll be fine. But I hate uncertainty. I just do it because it's good to do things that scare yourself. In terms of imposter syndrome, you know what? I try to ignore it, and there's a reason why I put my first edition Bessie bargain bags at £5, and I've decided once I've sold out of the 100 and people are actually legitimately enjoying it, unless there's some major changes that I had to make, it'll be like, okay, this many people already enjoyed it. I'm reprinting it. It'll now be 750, and that's part of me trying to overcome my imposter syndrome. Like all the pictures that I drew for a game about cute comical creatures and trying to identify them after some makes noises, the brand new one that I showed the pictures for, that one, I would have spent so much longer on it. I would have worried so much more on it if I didn't know this is just going to be a £5 game. I can do this. And so, but maybe that's not the healthiest approach to counter imposter syndrome, but getting it out there, trying to build up the network of people who support you and say, actually, that's okay. Timmy says, I'm not very confident. Unless I'm negotiating in a hiring interview, then I pretend to be. This is a thing, like I think everyone kind of has to pretend in interviews. Ian pretends a lot. I know I have in the past. So as we wrap up, over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. Is there anything that you are excited to do? Anything that you're having to do? Anything that you're excited for? Anything that you want to do less or more? Feel free to share. I promise that I care. So I am personally going to, after this stream, I might have a wee bit of breakfast. I might I might also pack something for the trip. Oh, if I've got some peppers, I could stir fry them really quickly and then have them on the trip. Yes, I think I will do that. I'm excited just by the thought. I'm going to finish packing up. I'm going to, make sure to catch my train. I'm going to go to Hertfordshire and I will make sure that I'm there for Chris, because Chris today is doing all the finishing of the graphic design and pre-production for my new games. What are you up to? I am also pondering whether to walk or, take public transport. Apparently, walking is 37 minutes for me. So I do have a heavy rucksack. It might be as much. I think I would want to leave myself an hour. Public transports, it's 27 minutes. Like I might start walking, and as long as I'm walking in the correct direction, then I can get to bus from halfway, I guess. Because I know that I haven't done that much exercise recently. But yeah, what's everyone else up to? Timmy is moving into a new office at the end of the month. That sounds amazing. Are you going to be working from that new office? Ian is going to be going to Glasgow. What's happening there? Sounds exciting. I mean, that's a grand city. It's where I grew up. I'm willing to say that. That's not confidential information. Recap and wrap up before we finish up. So basically, what I'm saying is we don't know anything. Situations change. Each convention that you go to is different. Even if you've done like 20 conventions, going to your 21st, you'll have new games, you'll have more things to work out. I don't know what I'm doing, and I have to be okay with that. Yes, I can use data from my previous shows. Yes, I can use my sales figures if I've taken good notes, which I don't always take good notes. I should have a better filing system. But yeah, generally, all I'm saying is you are doing okay. We are all learning together. That's it. And continuing, hello, Vivan. It is lovely to see you. Says, planning my trip to Edinburgh for the Fringe. That's quite a few months away. I hope you have a lovely time there. Yes, UK Games Expo is figuratively just around the corner. In 3 weeks' time, I will be literally in Birmingham. Timmy says my sublease is up at the end of the month in my current office, so I had to find a new one. Oh, I just assumed that you were working from home all the time. Um, yeah, for some reason, I just assumed that you were always doing your programming and stuff from home. But yeah, Vivan, are you going to Games Expo? But you know what? It doesn't matter. I'll chat to you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I am going to be in Herefordshire. I found out that the convention doesn't actually start until Friday evening. So tomorrow, I guess I'll stream potentially from my laptop again, but it'll be in a completely new place. Saturday and Sunday, I will be at the convention, and so I'll be streaming, um, you know, just showing you a quick bit of it. If you want to check me out, then Stuff by Bez, all the places, Worn Out Faces. Share, spread the word, and of course, as always, I want to say thank you everyone for chiming in. Thank you for all the stuff. I hope that your meetings go okay. And yeah, for now, lots of love. The only thing left to say is, of course, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye. Bye, bye, everyone.